Okay, just quickly want to go through how to use the front-end editor of the Nexus WordPress theme. Nexus is a little bit different the way it works in that not only can you edit from the back end like you normally would with a WordPress site, they actually have a very intuitive front-end editor which just makes working with the website when you're editing a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go quickly through how to use that and some of the things you need to know. So as you can see here, we're just at the back end of a site, normal WordPress backend editor. If we just go over to open a new link and go to the home page or the front page, you can see when you're logged in, it brings up this editing bar. If I'll just click on pause and the bar will disappear. It says now editor is now disabled. So the site's just now as it normally would be. So if we just click on this little play icon up here, it brings up the front-end editor. So basically you can go through and edit all these parts of the website really simply on the front end. So here are all your menu bars up here. Obviously we've got, we'll just run through them, but we've got the home button that just takes you back to this home page. If we click on this, this is for a new page, just like you would normally on the back-end editor. Here you have a number of different aspects that you can work with on the front-end editor, and I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm just going to quickly go through how to edit on the front page, and we might go through some of them a little bit. You can add in comments. This just closes the editing bar for your colors and your design. We'll go through that in a minute. Page settings, the dashboard for the front-end editor, and to get back to the back-end dashboard, you just click on this WordPress icon here. We've got the help section, log out, and then obviously our pause button. So let's say, for example, and the way this works is that it's set up so any element you want to add in is like a widget, just like on the back end, but you actually treat this as a widget. So let's say, for example, we want to edit this. Actually, we'll just edit, first of all, just edit the text part here of this site. You click on the icon here. There's this transferring data, and it opens up the text editor. And just like, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have your title here, the heading tag, where the title's aligned, all your other options. Here's the actual, just zoom in a little bit, the bits of content here, and you just edited it like you would with the normal backend editor of WordPress. But then down the bottom here, you've got all these other options for this widget, things like how you want to align your background and your vertical alignment, the colors and how it's arranged, so you can set separate colors for each widget. You can add your own CSS and other bits and pieces. So that's just quickly how to actually to edit a widget, especially a text widget. So, and then once you finish, you just click save, and that'll, once you've edited something, that'll go to save, and you just click the save button, and then it's done, and it's actually live on the site. So to add in a new, so all these widgets, to add in a new widget, we just go, you can add row, and what it'll do is bring up the type of row you want, whether you want a full page, a third, and all these other options here. So let's say we just want to add in, we'll add 3 sections. So we click on that, so it's adding row, and then you've got your 3 widgets here. And then you want to add in a type of widget or type of element. So we click on the editing button, it's transferring data, and what it brings up is all the different types of widgets you can use. So you can add in a text box, image, blog roll. So this will actually, you use your blog category on this section, and it'll bring up your blog roll in that widget. You can add YouTube videos, Facebook like, and then all these other ones that are pretty easy to do, easy to see what they do. So this is why it's really quite quick and simple to build sites using this feature. So, and then it's very easy to, you can delete that whole row. You can just hit the trash can, and then that row will actually be deleted. You can actually move elements around. So let's say we want to move this with this widget here, text widget, to the next row above. We just click, hold the mouse, move it up to the section where you want it to go, and it should change. It didn't actually work that time. We need to go a little bit higher. There we go. And then you can see that that widget's been moved at the top, and you can put it anywhere on the page. So we'll just move that one back. Takes a bit of getting used to work out how it all works. Let's say we want to change the image here of this heading banner here. So this is a page decorating element. So we can just click on the image here, and you can see we've got the image that's located here. If we want to change it, we can just click on the actual part of the slider, and here you could change the image. It's actually part of the element there, and then all the other information that's written in there. You can add an article link if you want. And what the good thing about this editor, it actually, rather than having to type in your link URL, if you want to link from an image or even in your text widget, you can just go find your internal page you want to link that's already here, and just click on it, and then it'll link it through. So really simple to use. So we'll just get rid of that. Same for all these. These are called call-out boxes, and if we just click on the editing a call-out, a target, it's a little bit like a text box, but it just has a few more features and elements you can use. You can add an icon in and bits and pieces, so you can play around with that to see how they work. Your social media icons, pretty simple, just another element. You can click on those, and you'll see that you can just add in your social media and your RSS URLs, and they will just be shown as they need to be shown. Menus, a lot of this is easy to work out once you're using it, but this is just a bit of a broad overview of how the front-end editor works. So we can go and these are just menu items. We can add in anything we want. You put the title, and then same thing, you can use your existing pages that you link to, or you can actually add in just close that. You can actually add in an external link as well if you like. You can move these around just by clicking on them and dragging and dropping them as well. Okay, so we'll just go back to the home page, and then we'll talk quickly about these elements. Okay, so that's just the media manager. That'll take you through to a media manager like you would at the back end of a normal WordPress editor. A little bit different, but it's essentially the same. It just shows you all images you have in there, and you can adjust them and edit them as you need. This part here, the template parts, is quite important to use. So this is where you can set up your. So if we just go here, let's say we want this heading on the home page always. You can see here we've got the home page header. We can just click on it, and there's the header part that we actually want on the home page. We'll go back to that, and then the same for the main header, which would be for, say for example, we want a different header for the internal pages, and you can set up a different header for the internal pages. So that'll go site-wide for all your internal pages, and you need to set those these template parts for your page types, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Sidebar, so look at the we've got the main sidebar. This would be set, for example, the sidebar that's on the internal pages. And if we just go and have a look at a internal page, you should see that there's that sidebar there. Okay, so they're the template parts. We won't worry about page decorators. So that's just for things like images and the way the pages are set up. You can have a look at that yourself. The business rules, this is where you set up how each of the pages are displayed. So for example, we've got the home page here. We've set the home page header, which we just looked at. We've set the footer, which we've just looked at, and we've set the home page sidebar. So you add what elements you want to change to have them show on each of the pages you set up. Okay, so you can set up different rules for each for different types of pages, for individual pages, you know, for the home page for your blog, and you can set it up any way you like. This is just a section for forms. If you've got forms, we can maybe go and have a look. Say if you've got a contact form on your page, and it just goes and shows you some of the details that have come through, and that they can all be emailed through to you like a normal contact form would work. Okay, here's some further editing bits and pieces. You can set up your styling and the header and footer options here. Marketing management, basically that you can add in some Google tags, your analytics ID, that sort of thing. And there's a heap of other options here. You can turn off your responsive design if you like. The main email for the forms, and you can just play around with those options as well. The page settings, so this is for each individual page. So we'll just go back to a page, go to the home page. So if you click on this for a page you are located on, then you can set up how you want it to look, what it's relevant to in your categories. This is like your page template in your backend editor of WordPress. So you can see here we've set the homepage up as a page, not a blog roll or anything like that. So that's just the page settings. You can also change the styling of the page, the header styling, colors, those sort of things, and the footer styling. For the overall colors, I'm just going to copy this so we don't lose the color we've got. So what you can do, you can just, for the colors of that page, you can move your bar around and that'll change your colors the way you want. Just put it back to the way it was. And then the same for some of the other color elements that are actually on the page. You can play around with those, and each of these color codes are relevant to different parts of the page itself. This is just how you can set up your column layout. You can drag and drop these as you need, so we won't do that. You can add in your own CSS if you need, and the SEO. So if you're not using something like Yoast, WordPress plugin, or another plugin, you can actually set your titles and your descriptions here on the front-end editor as well. Okay, so that's just a little bit about how the front-end editor of Nexus themes work. It's a little bit different, but once you get used to using it, it's really quite efficient, and it works really well for building WordPress sites and then getting a sort of a real-time view of what's going on. Hope this has helped. Thanks for your time.